content supply chain as a term or a concept has been around for a few years, but fundamentally it is the full journey from ideation to distribution. And that's become a more focused area of analysis and strategy, primarily because of the constraints I talked about earlier, in terms of the need for more content, more personalized content, more targeted content across more and more growing channels. And with largely agencies not embracing the scalable technology to deliver that, that's becoming a huge bottleneck. And actually, just in many ways, it's intermediating, creating a larger gap between creative and media, which is a real issue. So for me, in terms of content supply chain as definition, it is the full journey from creative ideation and distribution. Brands are seeing the challenge from materializing in increased turnaround times, missed deadlines, inability to service product or campaign launches, or having a lot of stress or seeing a lot of stress around that. So I think brands are increasingly looking at that, bringing visual content teams they're getting the MarTech teams to really look at this problem and identify platforms that can help them solve it.
Technology is being adopted both on the client side and on the agency side, and teams working together hand in hand. Still the old model of the agency being an extended arm of the brand, but with new technology.
Yes, maybe a trite example of that is there's a lot of tools out there these days which are self-serve. I think Chili is clearly one of them. And while that is a massively attractive notion, our brands absolutely latch on to that capability. The reality is, when it comes to creating 12, 20, 30,000 adaptations for a campaign, a brand marketer is not going to go do that. So they still need that managed service to be able to create the content. It's just no longer, it is an art worker or an editor out in Manila compositing it. Is now a project manager sitting in probably those locations. So no more is technology an afterthought around how do you create scale production. It's now a critical part of the strategy itself, because that is the constraint or the opportunity for creative to. So I think those two things are quite important. Then there's a fundamental shift of how do you start to get the creative piece to fundamentally move from a largely linear model today, although it's not quite true, but largely linear model today, to a fundamentally modular, personalized model thinking going forward. And that's quite a shift. And every time I've spoken about this with agencies, I've met some real resistance with creatives, heavyweight creatives who understand the concept but just don't think that's the way forward. And I get the arguments. However, my point is, if you're going to drive more effective and more personalized content, then you need to be able to set up a creative to maximize the capability of the technology, which is now becoming, not, as I said, no longer an afterthought, but a critical part of the strategy piece itself.